What's happening this week in Warcraft? Hey, it's Soul, and you can help support the channel by liking this video, subscribing for more WoW coverage, and catch me live where I'm streaming. This coming Tuesday, or maybe very late Tuesday, patch 11.0.5 goes live on North American servers. Starting at 10 a.m. that day, Twitch will feature a drop where you watch a WoW streamer on Twitch for 4 hours to get a golden scarab pet, and I'll be on nice and early to help you get started, doing the usual banter we do, answering questions and so on while waiting for realms to come up. I'm going to take you through the important bits of what's happening in the patch and the anniversary event, so listen up. When realms go live, you can expect the following: lots of class changes, and a link to the patch notes are below so you can take a look at how your class has been revived, or butchered, or both. You can roll Drakthir as non-evoker classes straight away. While we're here, the warband screen has been slightly updated to hide UI elements for screenshot purposes. Also, one can search for their character by realm and specialization. In-game, crafting orders will now pull items from your warbank, and thank goodness, this will make doing the rounds of orders for knowledge and acuity much more convenient as originally intended. Dark Iron Dwarves had their Mole Machine racial buffed and can now travel to Battle for Azeroth, Shadowlands, and Dragonflight zones. On the transmog side of things, class-restricted gear from the likes of Molten Core, Blackwing Lair, and other raids can now be learned by any character. Also, completed quests that awarded gear should now award all possible appearances one can get, and this is retroactive across the warband. Shadowlands raids got a pass, and all encounters should be soloable without needing to pull off crazy tricks with specific classes. Some encounters still have a few mechanics. They're not all just pinatas waiting to be beat down, so be careful. And in Time Walking, which is an activity you'll likely do a lot for the next few months, the number of badges awarded from boss kills has been doubled. It doesn't exactly cancel the nerf to badges earned from alts completing the weekly Time Walking quest after the first time, but I have a feeling we'll be collecting a lot of these badges no matter what. Alright, so let's talk about the anniversary event. I'm going to present this to you the same way I look at most anything in WoW, with a focus on making good use of your time while keeping up your mental health. I'm going to plant this seed in your head. The anniversary event can best be described as having a time walking week every week until 2025. So folks who might average 10 to 12 hours a week, not a day, but 10 to 12 hours a week, they shouldn't have too much trouble adjusting to the holiday activities while doing their usual routine. The anniversary event is also the whole patch, so this is going to go on for 11 weeks, which leaves lots of room to make a plan of attack if any adjustments need to be made. So let's start by accepting the quest we get when first logging in, which directs us to the Caverns of Time. Instead of down inside the actual caverns, the outside space has been converted into a carnival of sorts, and this quest will introduce you to the what's what. Once you're through, there are different activities you can take part of in order to earn these anniversary tokens, which can be traded across the warband. This is the stuff used to buy the updated Tier 2 sets you've been seeing, as well as other goodies. The three main sources of these tokens are found from one-time activities, weekly, and ungated activities. So let's break it down. The introductory quest to the event, the new Blackrock Depths raid, and Chromie's Codex scenario give one-time tokens. A daily quest called Celebrate Good Fun will give you tokens the first time it's completed each week. You're asked to participate in some of the local events. Now this is the weird one because passively we get a 10% bonus to experience and reputation gained, but doing this quest will also give a temporary buff that increases the bonus to 20%. Now this can expire, but it counts as in-game time, so you don't need to refresh this buff too often. Scattered around the area are the anniversary specific weeklies. The originals has you kill the old school world bosses scattered around. Timely Gate Crashers is a new one. This has you defeat the world bosses placed throughout Tanaris. Chromie's Codex is an additional quest to complete her special 10 to 20 player scenario to restore the gates of Ahn'Qiraj. And every week is a Time Walking week basically, featuring classic Time Walking and the Blackrock Depths raid with quests to give rewards including tokens. Khazalgar also hooks you up with tokens based on the weekly offerings, so it's going to be in your interest to complete the weekly quests of all sorts and to do the outdoor events like the theater troupe, spreading the light, the special assignment world quests, and so on and so forth. Defeating the world boss and Queen Ansurek gives tokens too, although I'm not sure how many. Also, if a special weekly event is overlapping, like the Delve or the World Quest event, that'll also give tokens. Here's the full breakdown on screen, and I want to make it clear that these numbers aren't set in stone. They're not completely 100% verified. Also keep in mind, the tokens earned from here are shared across the warband. You only need one character to complete these activities, or you can spread the efforts across multiple characters, but you won't be able to throw your alt army at this and multiply your gains. I never discovered the full values of every activity, but it seems clear that outside of the one-time rewards, Anniversary Weeklies give 3 tokens, Khazalgar Weekly Quests give 2 tokens, and Khazalgar Activities award 1 token. Currently the PTR is down, so I can't give you more up-to-date numbers, and who knows what might actually go live, so I'm only guesstimating we can earn roughly 50 tokens in the first week, including the one-time rewards. This is less compared to earlier predictions, when I believe the daily Celebrate Good Fun quest gave 3 tokens every day, but the current patch notes make it clear it's just a once-per-week credit. We'll get to the things you can buy later, but first, after organizing these activities between the holiday and the regular routines, just look at the spread and ask yourself which activities you're able to do in a given week. How much time will it take to complete these events, assuming it's easy enough to get into a group? Now, I also want to point out that the raid is for 10 to 15 people, and raid fighter difficulty can be accessed by characters starting at level 30. Classic time walking can be picked up and done starting at level 10, so you can use leveling characters to knock out chunks of your token farming and double dip on working towards your goals. Just a personal take here, this doesn't feel so bad. Like I said, it's like having time walking week every week. I'm gonna skip out on stuff like the PvP stuff. Yeah, that's not a great use of my time, I don't really like doing it, and everything else is what I do anyway. We're not done with ways to farm tokens though. For those of us who are serious about farming up all the rewards, there's an achievement after earning 100 tokens. This achievement will unlock what Blizzard's calling ungated tokens from the activities listed below, which I'm going to believe means we can repeat them over and over where applicable and across alts. Some of these are dailies, others appear to be activities we can keep queuing up for, but I can't be certain. Even then, based on the numbers, if people are pretty active, they'll unlock this perk as early as the 3rd week, allowing these folks to unleash the alt army to farm tokens until their face falls off. So what is there to buy? There are vendors in the center of the event area who sell a bunch of different items, old and new, mostly new, and are bought with either Time Warp badges or anniversary tokens. Time Warp badges, as you know, are warbound, so if you haven't already, gather them all up into one character to buy whatever you fancy. If you're short, don't forget that time walking is basically non-stop until the end of the year, and I'm sure some of these items are going to appear again in classic time walking rotations. The anniversary token items are probably going to be most people's focus, as these might go away until next year, so yeah, I totally get it. For those interested in the ensembles, here's how this vendor works. Your first purchase will cost 60 tokens, it's kind of a lot, but buying your first will unlock an achievement, which gives a discount, meaning your second purchase is going to cost 40 tokens. And this activates another achievement and discount, which makes the remaining sets cost only 20 tokens. As gamers, we're all wired a little bit differently, so my advice won't land for everyone, but I do advise that during this event, you develop a routine that makes you comfortable and then commit to it for a while. So throughout the week, knock out outdoor world bosses, or queue up for Raid Finder and 5 time walking dungeons, go to Khazalgar and complete the weeklies you want to do, and then, if you can, hard farm the other activities on alts. That's a few hours of playtime per week, and you can start picking up rewards right away, or save a bit and focus on those ensembles. That's all good too. Serious farmers will definitely unlock the ungated tokens and reach their goals faster, but the path to obtaining everything is laid out pretty neatly. And this is me presenting all the information in front of you. When you got your boots on the ground and you're gaining these incremental token rewards, it's going to feel a lot more natural. Knowing me, I'm going to go for one of the ensembles first, and then switch up and pick up all the other possible rewards, then maybe return to the ensemble vendor towards the end of the event in case I happen to gather up extra tokens. I'm the type who rushes at the start and then falls off. I'm that kind of gamer, but I think this setup works for just about everyone who wants to show up. Before we forget, let's also talk about the Blackrock Depths raid, which is available for 10 to 15 players in Raid Finder, Normal, and Heroic difficulty. Mentioned earlier, the Raid Finder version can be queued for as low as level 30. The Normal and Heroic versions do require max level. This is the first time since Battle for Azeroth, I think, a mid-season patch introduced a raid that gave equivalent item level gear compared to the original season's raid. I don't do raid testing, so I can't tell you how Blackrock Depths compares to the Nurubar raid in terms of throughput or complexity, so, good going, content creator. What helps make the raid attractive are there being lots of new items to collect, some of which have special cantrip effects you don't commonly see outside of trinkets. Another feature of the raid is that defeating bosses drops currency in the form of relic coffer keys. Predictably, they are not warbound. According to Wowhead, a full clear of the main bosses gives 24 of these keys, but defeating the extra bosses give more, so you might get away with maybe 30 keys a week. Hopefully in the meantime you'll win your share of rolls and get some decent gear. But with this currency in hand, over at the Celebration Hub you can trade 40 of these for gear from the raid. It's kind of like trading in the dinar or bronze bullion. You can buy up to 3 pieces of gear per difficulty throughout this event. My recommendation, depending on your playstyle, is to try and work your way into 2 difficulties. Like, for example, me, I'm going to try and make my way into the both normal and heroic version. Fully upgraded champion gear has an item level of 619, which is quite respectable, and if it turns out the difficulty isn't tuned so high, these might be easy to farm for, which makes these cool side grades from, maybe delve gear. That's if you're into doing group stuff, of course, but you bet I'm going to try running these for some extra gear. As we'll learn more, and no doubt we're going to learn more, when it comes to earning tokens and keys and other rewards, I'll let you know in later Monday videos or other uploads if it's urgent. I've only talked about the functional and reward-based parts of the anniversary event, but on its own, dude, this is the party, it's a celebration. We're just here to hang out and do just silly stuff. My favorite thing in the new area is the Lore Walker Cho bits. They're really worth a watch. Just sit for a while, watch them, they're fun. We can't forget about the other stuff this week either. Arena Skirmishes are the bonus event this week, and Deep 6 is the Brawl. These should offer something like 1, maybe 2 celebration tokens. Hell's End also begins this coming Friday, and with a patch this week, there's a chance something new could show up, so let's be on the lookout. And over in Mythic Plus World, it's a tyrannical fortified week, and with Oblivion happening just this past week, it looks like we're going to see a new pattern. The possibilities this coming week could be Ascendant, Voidbound, or Devour. Last week, a few hotfixes dropped to rebalance some encounters. In the Necrotic Wake, Javelin debuffs no longer stack, with some health tweaks to compensate for it. Meanwhile, Stone Vault health and damage sources got a small nerf. So good luck to everyone, and that about wraps up everything we know happening during this week. In case anything was missed, hey, drop a tip down in the comments and roast me for my failure. Please like the video, subscribe for more coverage, catch me live, and I'll catch you later. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.